Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Marion County Espresso TV. I'm your host, Steve Woodhouse, and joining me today is the new president of Marion County Bank, Kevin Bolt. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you, Steve.
So, how long have you been with Marion County Bank?
So I started in November of 1994. Came from a background of bank examining. So I was with the Iowa Division of Banking and examined banks in the local area. I was stationed out of Grinnell. And then kind of got to this area and got my foot in the door a little bit with examining this bank. And that's kind of how it started, I guess you'd say, is examined for 6.5 years, starting in 1988. And then, started here in late 1994.
And so, what exactly does a bank president do? There might be some people unfamiliar with that.
Sure, yeah. So really the president's job is to manage the day-to-day operations of the bank. Everywhere from the operations, bookkeeping, new accounts, loans, all the above, all the operations of the bank, just making sure that we're doing our job, taking care of our customers, and doing it the best way we can.
And so, I imagine, the bank has a history of over 100 years in Marion County, Pella, and Knoxville, but mostly Pella.
Right.
How do you define that taking care of your customers? What's most important to you?
Yeah, I think really the most important thing is to listen to the customer. See what their needs are, and then tailor their needs to what we can do for them. Is really the best thing. I think the best way to explain it. We're here to serve them. That's our job, and do it within obviously the constraints of banking regulations and all that. But again, do the best we can to serve their needs that they have.
And so how did you get into banking and bank examining to begin with? Did you already have it? Did you always have an interest in money?
Yeah, that's a good question. So out of college, I kind of thought I either wanted to get into sales. My dad was an insurance salesman. So I thought about that as an idea of something to do. And then my older sister was in a bank in Minnesota. I grew up in southwest Minnesota, but so thought, maybe I can combine the two or something, see what that would look like. And one of the options came up as when I was at Dordt College to apply for a job with the Iowa Division of Banking. So it came to Des Moines, their headquarters then, and they offered me a job and said, well, you can go into any one of these locations. Like Grinnell was close to Pella. My wife grew up in Pella, so it was just close to home for her. So that was where we landed just out of college, and thought it was a great way to learn all aspects of banking, because you're seeing, when you go in to examine a bank, you're seeing all the different things that they do. All the way from loan operations to deposits to laws they have to comply with. So it was a great learning experience just to be able to do that for a little over 6 years.
So you've been the bank president for a couple of weeks now?
It has been, just a couple of weeks, right. So still learning, but I've had some great people to learn from. Pete Rahai was the president of the bank, obviously, before Steve, and was obviously here when he was still here. So I was able to learn what he did, and then again following Steve, great legacy that he set for the bank as well for the many years that he's been the president at Marion County Bank as well.
Have you noticed, what's the biggest change from your former duties to your new duties as president?
Yep, it'll be less customer interaction. I won't be able to handle the number of loan customers that I had before. So that'll be the toughest part, because I love working with people and helping them. But just to be able to interact with customers, no matter if it's helping them day to day or just visiting with them about your general things that are going on in their lives too. So.
And I know as maybe 10 years ago now that you guys expanded into Knoxville.
Yeah, it's actually about 5.5, 6, yep.
You guys got to say, time kind of flies.
Yes, right.
And you still have the branch in Beecher, Dallas.
We do, yep.
Are you looking for any further expansion or any discussion?
Yeah, we haven't really talked a great deal about that. We still wanted to get through just all the transition time with the bank in Knoxville. That's going very well. We've been very happy with transition in Knoxville. Great market to serve there. Obviously, being a county seat of Marion County, it's great to be able to be in that town, and just to be able to Melcher, Dallas, to be able to serve the people in that area as well. So, but that'll be something that will come up later on. As do we want to expand into another market at some point? So.
And so, are there any major challenges to banking these days, and what are they?
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges in today's market is fraud. You know, you've seen it all over the place. People see it on their phones, they see it on their computers. People getting into places where they shouldn't be, and then they make it look so real. So that's a difficult thing. Is that they may see a sense of urgency that you really need to go and just do this, and it's easy to be confused, and especially the elderly. They prey on the elderly people, and we see elder abuse way too often. What happens with crooks out there that are just looking to gain insight into their money dealings. So, and then just interest margin, or the net interest margin of the banks has been tough ever since COVID, when the government flooded the economy with all the PPP funds and all those things throughout those times that just sent interest rates plummeting. Yeah, so that was difficult to manage at that time. So still kind of working our way out of that time frame in 2020 when rates just tanked. So.
Yeah, and I read that most of the 40% of the dollars that are in circulation have been released in the last 10 years. I believe it was. How has that really changed banking and finance?
Yeah, it's interesting that whole phenomenon. The dollars that were flooded into the economy at that time were just unbelievable, and people did a great job of a lot of times saving that money because they weren't spending a lot at the time, right? So, but then just interest rates and what happened to them at the time. We were sitting on a large amount of cash too. The bank was, of all the people that had deposited money, both business and personal. So what were we able to do with it at that time? Really nothing, because they weren't paying anything overnight money. People weren't borrowing money at the time because it was just such an unusual time. So just dealing with that whole flood of cash just made it for a very challenging time.
So looking ahead, I mean, do you know what the future of the Marion County Bank holds?
So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the future. We have, again, Steve's transition, moving out. He's been a great leader for us for the past 15, 20 years, and just younger people coming up through the ranks, and we'll see where that leads as far as future leadership. We anticipate still being obviously a proud member of Marion County. We support local giving through donations to various organizations and see that will continue. And just to be the primary financial leader in Marion County is our goal. So.
And just through my experience over the years, it seems like Marion County Bank obviously has the greater community presence than your national
Correct.
chain banks. I don't need anything against the national chain banks.
Yep, it's always what I say too. They have their purpose, and it's just it's not being involved in the community. Right.
And do you think that community banks like Marion County Bank will become more significant in the years to come?
I do. I feel that'll continue. We've continued to grow. I know, Layton's had some nice success as well. The banks that, again, locally owned, locally operated, to be able to continue to grow. We have a nice niche that we serve, and I don't see that changing. I see the continuous needs of customers to be able to continue to serve them. Have local decision making that we're able to have here. We don't have to call Des Moines or wherever the national headquarters is. So yeah, I see that continuing.
And is there one specific area you'd like to expand, like business lending, ag lending?
Right. Yeah. We're always involved, obviously, in commercial lending and ag lending. We see ag lending being a very big part of what we do here. Obviously, we're a rural community. We thrive on when our ag economy does well, then we do well, and so does our local downtown. And yes, supporting businesses is a big part of what we do as well. So we anticipate wanting to continue to focus on both of those areas.
And like you touched on, obviously, community involvement will still be a very big aspect of Marion County Bank. Like you just wrapped up the basketball fundraisers
Correct.
that you do every year.
Yep.
And so, do you have another promotion coming up?
We don't. We don't have anything scheduled. At least the basketball season's about over. But we just anticipate being involved in a lot of things going on in town, whether it's supporting our local merchants and little giveaways that we have for them. and just anticipating that we will continue to support them any way we can.
And so just, you talked on what Steve Kreinbrink did. Have you put any personal touches on the office of president?
Right. Not yet. It's only been, like I said, 2 weeks. So, we just want to continue to provide great service to our customers. We want to provide a great place to work for our employees. It's obviously a big thing as well. We have a great staff, a lot of longevity in our staff, and we just want to continue to make it a great place to work and live here in Pella and Knoxville.
Absolutely. Is there anything further you want to share with the folks today about, your new job and the future of Marion County Bank?
Yeah, like I said, I think they're really this continuing the vision that we have here at Marion County Bank is, to provide great customer service with integrity, support our community well in donations, and giving back to the community that way, and giving our time. So that's what we try to do best here is be involved in any way we can.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your
You
time,
bet.
Kevin.
Yep. Thank you, Steve.
Yep. Thank you all for joining us.